So, Paige Bueckers' debut, man, it wasn't that good. Not gonna lie, not that good.
For each other, and that's our connection. And we're so connected that way. And that doesn't mean it's great all the time. We have hard conversations. We have tears. We have disagreements. That's actually normal in a relationship, isn't it? Like, it's normal to have disagreements. It's normal to be frustrated with each other. It's normal. Like, that's a part of it. Conflict's a part of it. And so we work through it together, and we're willing to sit.
Caitlin Clark just walked back into Team USA camp after 5 months away from basketball. And what happened next has everyone talking. After an injury-plagued season that made people question whether she would ever be the same, Clark returned and reminded the entire world exactly why she's special. And somewhere in all of this, Paige Bueckers quietly became a footnote in Clark's comeback story. Before we break down the absolute clinic Clark put on, let me ask you this. Who do you think should make the final Team USA roster for 2026? Drop your predictions in the comments, because after what we just witnessed, some expectations are about to be shattered. Coach Carl Lawson summed up Clark's first practice with one simple statement. She looked good on both ends. But if you think that tells the full story, you haven't been paying attention. Clark didn't just look good. She dominated everyone at camp, including players who thought they were legitimate competition for roster spots. Sue Bird, managing director of USA Basketball, watched Clark push the tempo, drain deep three-pointers, and instantly develop chemistry with Aaliyah Boston that screamed, "These two are starting, and there's nothing you can do about it." After a season filled with injuries that kept her off the floor, Clark proved she's back at 100% and ready to lead Team USA toward gold in 2026. And here's what isn't being said loudly enough. She didn't just come back healthy. She came back better, more focused, more determined, and absolutely ruthless in proving that last season's injuries were a temporary setback, not a career-defining moment. Clip 2.
Clark is going against Paige and Dejanay. ESPN today, when they were talking about Paige, one of them says, I think Paige will be a good player this year, but I'm not expecting a Caitlin-like impact, and that's an unfair bar to set. Dallas Wings using the promo poster of
Understand why this matters. We need context. During her rookie WNBA season, Caitlin Clark shattered 62 records. 62. She posted triple-doubles, hit shots from near half court, and completely flipped the league upside down. Then came year 2, and everything unraveled. One injury led to another, and then another. Clark described it perfectly. I think the challenge of myself was it was one thing, then it got a little better, but it kept compounding and other things kept popping up. The same player who rewrote the record books could barely stay on the court. She appeared in just 13 games all season. 13. The whispers started. Could she come back? Would the injuries keep stacking up? Was her historic rookie year a one-time phenomenon? Clark hadn't played competitive basketball in nearly 5 months when she stepped into Team USA camp. 5 long months away from the game that made her famous.
A point being scored or assisted by Caitlin Clark in a 4.5-minute spell to make a game, to go from down 5 to up 13. Like that, well, basically it was down 15 to up 10. Against the Phoenix Mercury last year, where every single basket, other than one, was either scored or assisted by Caitlin Clark in what was the craziest game of her career. Where it's funny, if you look back on that game, I think she had 15 points and 13 assists, and on 4 of 15 shooting. And people were just like, oh, this was terrible.
The stakes couldn't have been higher. This wasn't just another practice. This was her audition for the 2026 World Cup team and the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. Every coach, every analyst, and every camera was locked onto her first touches. Would the rust show? Could she still move the same way? Clark admitted she was nervous at first. When I touched the ball during warm-ups, that's when I started to feel comfortable, she said later. But comfortable doesn't begin to describe what happened next. Clark declared herself fully healthy, and then proved it. Her shot fell with that familiar snap of the net. Her passes found teammates as if she had GPS tracking built in. Her court vision looked sharper than ever. She pushed the pace, created fast breaks, and dictated the game exactly like the Clark everyone remembered. The player who averaged 16.5 points and 8.8 assists during her limited season looked completely locked in. One analyst said the most important thing out loud: her speed is back. And that's everything. Speed was what injuries robbed her of last season. At camp, she was turning corners off handoffs like she had rocket boosters, attacking downhill with purpose and confidence. One play summed it all up. Clark took a dribble handoff from Aaliyah Boston, exploded around the corner, and delivered a perfect pass to Jackie Young cutting to the rim. The layup missed, but the pass was pure artistry. Clark smiled all practice long. "My goal was just to smile and have fun," she said. She had her game back, her health back, her confidence back. And the entire energy of Team USA camp shifted the moment she proved it.
Player needs it. That's another level of facilitating. That's why we say, man, Caitlin Clark is the top guard, man. All right. Y'all start the conversation in the chat, but I'm just saying, Chelsea Gray is a very entertaining passer. All right. Very entertaining. Sometimes her flashiness kind of make her throw the ball away and things of that nature. But Caitlin Clark knows how to get that thing in tough spots. All right. Get it in tough spots and get her teammates open. Get it to where the teammate can catch the ball and just pull it in a comfortable style. All that is a part of facilitating, man. All right. So
now let's talk about what really set the camp on fire. Caitlin Clark's chemistry with Aaliyah Boston. There was a moment that made Sue Bird and the coaching staff realize they were witnessing something special. Clark delivered a pass to Boston that seemed to defy physics. Perfect timing, perfect placement. Boston finished the play and smiled. Clark smiled right back. That's elite chemistry. Normally, this kind of connection takes weeks or months to develop. Guards and bigs need time to learn each other's rhythms. But Clark and Boston already had it. They spent a full season together in Indiana, learning how to read each other instinctively. Clark would grab her bounds and immediately scan for Boston sprinting down the floor. Boston would seal defenders, knowing the ball was coming. The execution was flawless. One analyst explained it best. Caitlin knows when to make every decision and when not to. And even when her shot isn't falling, defenses can't ignore her. That gravity opens a floor for everyone else. When Clark pushes tempo, defenses scramble, and suddenly Boston is wide open because everyone is worried about Clark's range.
All the players play well, but France are just a little bit better in the World Cup. I'm not going to hate watch Team USA, but I do hope that the other teams they're playing are just better. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, if you are actually supporting Team USA, you would hope the two of them play together, because the two of Paige and Caitlin play together, because that's what's going to help them win. And is Caitlin going to be the best player at this camp? If Caitlin's the best player at this camp, there's something seriously wrong with the level of women's basketball. Like, if a player who has basically been injured for a year shows up and is the best player at their first training camp, because let's be real, you're not going to, it takes players weeks, if not months.
The pace changes were just as impressive. Clark rebounded and pushed instantly, creating offense before defenses could set up. Boston ran hard, knowing Clark would reward effort. Teammates followed their lead, sprinting the floor because they trusted Clark to find them. She elevated everyone, not just Boston. Clark connected with Jackie Young for layups in stride, showcasing a backcourt partnership that could anchor Team USA for years. One analyst put plainly, Jackie Young thrives next to Caitlin Clark. The energy was contagious. Players cut harder, screened better, and played freer because they trusted Clark's vision. Sue Bird and the coaching staff watched the chemistry develop with visible excitement. While people talked about roster battles, the coaches watched one player separate herself completely.
Most of us want adversity to go really quickly. Like, okay, it'll be tough for a half a day and then we're done. And this has been tough for longer for us. Good. Because this is what life is about. Like, you don't get to control the length of your adversity. All you get to do is control your attitude and your focus and just work like heck to try and change it.
Heading into camp, the narrative was simple. Fierce competition for limited spots. Angel Reese said it best. Everybody wants to make this team. It's an honor just to be here. Clark understood the pressure, but she made it look one-sided. Analysts described her performance as on fire. Deep threes, perfect reads, flawless decisions. Every possession, she made the right play. While others focus on showcasing themselves, Clark focused on making everyone better. Her leadership emerged naturally, directing traffic, calling out screens, setting the tone. Sue Bird's verdict carried weight. She looked great. When Bird says that, coaches listen. The staff's body language told the story. They smiled. They nodded. They had their starting point guard. Clark said it best. It feels nice to finally be back to 100%. So where does this leave Paige Bueckers? She wasn't even at camp, but Clark answered every question without saying a word. 5 months away, and she walked in and took control. The projected lineup has fans buzzing. Caitlin Clark, Jackie Young, Kalia Copper, De'Erica Hamby, and Aaliyah Boston. That group can beat anyone, and it's built around Clark. As camp progressed, other players' situations grew complicated. Analysts noted that some styles simply didn't fit Clark's tempo-driven system. Meanwhile, her chemistry with Boston and others stood out immediately. Coach Carl Lawson summed it up perfectly.